Hey, welcome back. Do you know the golden rule? Have you heard of the golden rule? It's very simple. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Or as Jesus says here in Luke 6, verse 31, do to others as you would like them to do to you. Very interestingly, this golden rule was one of the many evidences for me when I moved from being a skeptic of Christianity to a believer. Part of it was, traveling to parts of the world where there's a lot of violence and warfare. And you realize, especially when you get outside of suburbia, even in urban areas of large cities where there are gangs and there are shootings, there's a lot of people out there, and most people do what's best for themselves. And I remember I was in a developing nation where there was an orphanage, and there were all these little boys, and it happened to be a Christian orphanage, as many are. And I realized, wow, they're all being taught, treat others the way you want to be treated. And all these little boys in this developing nation, they're going to grow up to be strong teenagers and then mighty young men. And because of these words of Jesus to treat people the way you want to be treated, just imagine this situation. Imagine you're in a city of 100 people. And those 100 people, from the time they were little, were taught, do to others, treat others the way you want to be treated. And you have to do this because there's a God who's righteous and we fear him and he will judge you at the end of your life. So treat others the way you want to be treated. You could live in a city of 100 people who are all in their physical prime, but their entire life they've been taught that. Or you could live in a city of 100 people who've been taught there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. You do whatever you want to do, and no one has the right to tell you what's wrong. And from the time they were born until their mid-20s, that's what they were taught. Which of those cities would you feel more comfortable taking a walk in the dark of night? Which of those cities, if you couldn't have a lock on your door, would you want to live in? Which of those cities, if you had a daughter, would you want her to go out walking at night in? Well, obviously the one where the people have been taught, do to others. That was a key moment in my journey from skeptic to believer where I realized, hey, even if God's not real, this Jesus stuff is just good for society, good for the world. And then, of course, I came to believe what I believe now. He's very real. He's personal. And I'm so glad for that because that's what empowers us to treat people this way. Our sin nature is the opposite of the golden rule. Our sin nature is get for yourself, take for yourself, step over whoever you have to step over, and just worry about numero uno. Jesus lived the opposite. He descended into greatness by humbling himself. And if we're true followers of Jesus, we will be denying ourselves and descending, humbling ourselves to serve others, to treat everyone we see the way we would want to be treated. So let's make this really practical for you today. Whoever you live with, maybe you're in high school and it's your family of origin. Maybe you're in college and it's a roommate. Maybe you're a retiree and it's a spouse or a roommate. Whoever you live with, and if you live all alone, think of your nearest neighbors. Today, would you make it a point to join me on this mission? Let's go out there today. Let's treat every person we see, especially those we live with, the way that we would want to be treated. See you tomorrow.